It's time to have a look at the Loopy again, specifically this time with the Magical Shop accessory. Now what this is supposed to do is take a video input, grab a screenshot of it, and then you can put text and little sticker type emoji things over the screenshot and then print it out with a sticker printer. It's not actually working though, or at least not properly, because it just comes up with an error on almost every video signal I put into it, which I think is because I found a video from the Long Island Retro Gaming channel, I think it is called, and he said he's fixed a few of these by replacing all the capacitors. He's got a video of that which I will link to, so that's what I'm going to do, or at least with the help of someone who's better at soldering than I am, is replace the capacitors in this to hopefully fix it. But I'm going to show you what it does, because almost every video device I have is PAL, including that 360, and it should really only work with NTSC devices, which is half of what my problem is. I've tried it on 2 or 3 devices that should be NTSC and it doesn't like it, so it's most likely the capacitor issue, but I'm going to show you what it's doing anyway. I like that little startup tune. And so now what this should do is, when you go to this, it's going to look for the video signal. And so now there's currently no video input, but if we turn on the 360, it's going to detect it. And you press A and it'll grab a screenshot. Now, I tested just about all of my video devices, or like old stuff like this, that use composite video, and almost every single one, it just comes up with a video error. But for some reason the 360, it will actually grab, but I think because it's PAL, it's just coming up all grey and distorted like that. But yeah, for basically everything else, it doesn't work at all. And I don't know why it will kind of accept a 360, or why the capacitor issue could potentially affect that. It doesn't really make any sense, but that is currently what it's doing. And then when you do this, it will process the screenshot. And we'll go OK. Okay, so it's going to print that now, even though we didn't put any of like the extra features on it or anything. I just want to see what happens when we print this. Okay, print completed. There we go, we have a very distorted Xbox 360 logo. So going off that video from the Long Island Retro Gaming channel, I'm going to take this apart and then try and get some new capacitors and get my friend to solder it in, and then if that all works, we'll put it back in and see if it works correctly with other devices and not come up with errors and get proper screenshots. I really hope it works. Well, it's been almost 2 months since I did that print from the 360. It took a very long time to get the replacement capacitors, but it's finally done. So this is what the main component on the inside of the cartridge looks like. And then it's got this kind of L adapter to make it actually plug in. So there's all these different capacitors on it. They've all been replaced. Unfortunately, not exactly with 100% the exact same types as the original ones, but as close as I could get. All the voltages are correct. I think one of the microfarads was a little bit higher because I couldn't get one exactly the same, but from what I can tell, it doesn't matter too much if the microfarads is a bit higher. And also these two capacitors, three capacitors here, I couldn't find any of these solid state types or whatever they're called in the right thing, so they've been replaced with the, that other type of capacitor, whatever they're called. It's still the right specifications, but yeah, hopefully it's all good. Yeah, now that it's actually been done, I can put it back together, and then I really hope that it has fixed it like that guy on the other YouTube video was saying it should fix. So yeah, I'll put it back together and see what happens. So I've got it set up again, and just as a reminder, that's what it looks like when I had the 360 connected to it, all grey and discolored like that. So that 360 was a PAL 360, and I'm pretty sure this device only properly supports NTSC, which is why I've got the IS Nitro connected to it to this time, which should be outputting an NTSC signal. We'll go to the single thing again. So there's no input at the moment, so we'll turn on the Nitro capture. So now that's a direct feed from the Nitro capture. And I think it has worked. That grabbed a perfectly good screenshot. Okay. I think it actually fixed it. That's amazing. But that is only black and white, which is black and white on the system. Wow. Okay, so there's color on that screenshot. And no, that's gone to black and white. Why is that? Oh no, it's getting color. Just that initial screenshot is black and white for some reason. Okay, that's good. Print completed. It worked. That's amazing. That's extremely amazing. I'm so happy that it fixed it. After waiting all that time for the capacitors, it's actually worked. That's incredible. Now, I'll have to cut this, plug some other devices into it, and see if it does work with PAL or not. But that's extremely good. Okay, so now I've got my PAL Wii Mini connected to it. So we'll find out now if it will actually work with PAL or not, which I don't think it will. Go to that which has got a bit more color. So that's the black and white screenshot that it grabs to start with, and we'll go this and see if it... Okay, so no, it doesn't properly work with PAL, because that's not grabbing the color out of it. So that's interesting. Okay, one thing I just found quickly is if I change the Wii to 50 Hz and also put it through this PAL to NTSC converter, which also does NTSC to PAL, but through this converter it will capture a screenshot from a PAL device in color, but you can't really tell so much from the video there probably, but it is quite a bit reduced in image quality. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna look at again is the Nitro capture, because that's the only device I've got that natively puts out NTSC. So you just go to this first one, and this is where it puts a direct feed through the output, so that's like just a straight feed through and you get the sound and everything. Then you press the A button again and it gets a quick black and white screenshot, and then you go OK, and then that's when it actually renders the screenshot. And you can see there that it's not completely full screen. The Nitro Capture does put a black border around its video for whatever reason. So when we go OK, we can then go in here and do some fun editing stuff, like put some text on it. And so that just overlays it on top of the screenshot. And then you can change it to vertical or horizontal. Change the color. So the text color, the outline color, and have a background as well. And the size. And this one you can have it in a border of some sort as well. And if you press the L or R button on the controller, the menu hides so you can see the complete screenshot. And then here you can move it around. And I'm not completely sure what these other menus do here, but that's basically how that works. And then this is the print menu. You can change the number and the size and the brightness and contrast and stuff, but I'm not going to actually print it. So that's how that works overall, and from what I've tested so far, because the Nitro Capture is putting out a proper NTSC signal, that has the best picture quality that it can capture. But next we will have a look at some other devices I've got and see what happens. Connected to it now I have my DVD player digital TV recorder thing, and in the settings you can change it so it says it should be outputting an NTSC signal. And if I press the capture button, it should capture this. Which yes, it is. And so for this, my TV says it's outputting a 480p signal. So we won't actually keep that. And then we'll go and play a DVD, which is the 2009 Star Trek movie, just to the main menu. And then it changes resolution. My TV says it's 576p, which then I think that's probably meaning it's not outputting NTSC anymore. So now if we try and capture a screenshot, it just says sampling error. So I've now got the DVD player connected through the Mayflash PAL to NTSC converter, which also does NTSC to PAL. You can see already that the picture quality has been reduced, but at least now it should be able to capture a screenshot. And yeah, it hasn't come up with the error. So yep, that's working, but the picture quality has definitely... it's definitely looking pretty bad now. But at least it's letting you capture something from a PAL signal. Now I have my PAL Super Nintendo plugged in directly. And... no, it doesn't like that either. Now I have a HDMI to composite video adapter connected, which I've had problems before with it, with video signal compatibility with old devices. I don't think it puts out a perfect signal. It does have a little switch on there to change between PAL and NTSC, and currently it is set to NTSC, so we'll see what's going to happen. It hasn't come up with an error yet. But no, it's not getting color out of that, so yeah, there's something strange about that device, that it doesn't output a perfect signal, so it doesn't like that for some reason. Now I'll change it to PAL and then put it through the converter again and see what happens. And we'll see what happens now. And yeah, okay, now it is getting color, except it's extremely reduced quality now. But at least it's interesting to see all this weird stuff happening. On the box for the Magical Shop, it suggests you plug in a VCR, so that's what I've done. Of course, this is going through the NTSC converter, and I've got this tape that's a Nintendo 64 promotional thing. I'm pretty sure there's copies of this video on YouTube already, but it's just a funny old tape that I've had for a long time. So at least on this we should be able to capture a screenshot if we can find something good to get a screenshot of. Like Mario just there. And yep, through the converter, the picture quality is not great, but at least it works. It's too bad I don't have any more devices that properly output NTSC. The other thing the box suggests is plugging a camcorder into it, so that's what we're going to have a look at next. Unfortunately, this camcorder doesn't have an option to output NTSC video signal. So it's going through the converter again, just here. And you can see my setup. There's my computer screen with OBS recording everything. And one stack of shelves with my games. And the Switch. And Series X. Camcorders are funny with all the optical zoom that they have. And my TV. And display cabinet with more stuff in it. And more games. And lots of Amiibo over there. And my clock. But yeah, it's pretty funny. We should be able to get a screenshot from this. And again, the picture quality is reduced a bit, but it's not too bad. So I will set things up a little bit better, and then we will print one picture from the camcorder. Thought I should get a picture of my cat, so that's probably a good enough spot to do it. So that was a recording playing back on the camcorder. So we'll just print this. Printing basically a photo from the Loopy. How amazing is that? Okay, it's done. And there we go. There's a slightly faded picture of honey. Mostly faded just because it's going through that NTSC converter. It would look better if I could actually have more NTSC stuff. Well, that's good. A photo of my cat printed by the Loopy. That's just great. So I hope this has been as interesting for you as it has been for me, looking at all this stuff to do with the magical shop. I'm so glad that my friend was actually able to fix it by replacing the capacitors in it. So otherwise that would have been a bit of a waste of money and a bit of a disappointment. But I think that will be all for now, so thanks for watching and I will see you next time.